Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for coming. My name is André Luís Monteiro. I'm a former junior academic visitor at the Commercial Law Center, Harris Manchester College at the University of Oxford, and one of the organizers of this event, alongside with my dear colleagues, Felipe Esperandio, João Leão Moreira, and Tom Foxton. This is the third edition of this event, and we hope it's still just the beginning. To organize an event, we need to decide on the topics. This is a hard task. The topics should be interesting, should be theoretically challenging, at the same time useful in practice, and should be attractive to both senior practitioners and young students. In the previous editions, we dealt with this task by choosing some well-known topics in arbitration. We talked about confidentiality, due process, applicable law, interim measures, corruption in arbitration, relationships between arbitration and courts, pathological arbitration clauses, judicial precedents in arbitration, the duty of arbitrators to disclose arbitrators' power to sanction parties, and third-party funding. I would say it's a far-reaching set of topics covering important issues in arbitration. But after all of these topics, all of these panels, we start asking ourselves, what else should we discuss? What else should we discuss? How should we go about choosing topics for the next editions? Well, fortunately, or in arbitration as in other fields in law, ideas can appear from nowhere. Reality is hitting us in the face with unexpected issues every year. Let's talk about clients. So, do you know your clients better? Do you know the clients of your rivals? Do you know what are their main concerns? For example, who should be the best arbitrator from your client's perspective? Should he or she be an academic, or maybe a well-known lawyer, partner of one of the international law firms? So I think you should ask them. Costs in arbitration. Clients prefer that the losing party pays for everything, pays for all the costs if they are the losing party, or they prefer split the bill, an American approach. Moving on. Hood said some years ago that arbitral organizations would play such a remarkable role in developing arbitration. Guideline, task force, ethic rules, all types of soft law. Nowadays, arbitral organizations are even making political pledges in arbitration. So diversity is the best example. So they are not just arbitral institutions anymore. Most of them are think tanks. Who would have some years ago that we would be discussing the decline of globalism and the rise of nationalism again? Since arbitration is the natural forum for disputes arising from international trade, maybe we'll see the impact of this political and economic movement in the coming years, specifically in some markets. So I'm not saying that winter is coming for arbitration, like Gary Bourne is saying, but I think you should think about that. Hood said some years ago that we would be discussing artificial intelligence in arbitration. robots as arbitrators, blockchain. Imagine enforcing an arbitration award by transferring cryptocurrency from the losing party to the winning party without any judicial interference. Let's see what happened, yeah? Well, what I'm trying to illustrate with all of these examples is that we have a lot to discuss. And to help us find the answer to these issues, today we have the chance to listen to a brilliant set of panelists comprised of 2 keynote speakers, 17 panelists, and 4 moderators. Thanks all of you for having accepted our invitation. We know you have other appointments, personal life. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you also to our sponsors, whose support is absolutely essential. I will list them. Centro de Arbitragem e Mediação da Câmara de Comércio Brasil-Canadá, CCBC. Lex Finance. Last Litigation Finance. Debevoise Plinton. Andrade Fichtner, Advogados. César Asfor Rocha, Advogados. Enio Law. PLMJ, Sociedade de Advogados. Classen Caribe Casado, Sociedade de Advogados. PVG Pelman Vidigal Godoy, Advogados. Benet Advogados e Apriliano Advogados. Last but not least, thanks to the audience for coming and spending your time with us. Again, we know you have your personal lives, you have your other appointments. Thank you very much for coming. Last but not least, number 2, this is not only an event to discuss important issues in arbitration and maybe to make new friends. This is also a fundraising event. So all of the remaining money that we got from our sponsors will be invested in a charity registered in the UK called Educa Foundation. So Educa invests its money in education projects in Brazil. So thank you again for our sponsors, because the remaining money is not just for the drinks, but for a charity who is working hard in education projects. Well, I will finish this welcome address by wishing you an excellent event and inviting Professor Luís Gallifer, the director of the Commercial Law Center of this university, to come to the stand and officially open this event. Thank you, Professor Gallifer.